Hal Spacejock looked up from the chessboard balanced on the flight console, where a typically one-sided contest had decimated his pieces. "What was that?"
"There's someone on the passenger ramp,"
said the ship's computer. "The money-loaning guy?"
"I cannot say. Our security camera was stolen."
"So how do you know there's anyone out there?"
"They're pressing the bell,"
said the navcom patiently. Hal strode to a set of controls on the wall and pressed the upper button. Hydraulics whined as the heavy circular door swung open, and Hal ducked into the Black Gull's cramped airlock. Inside, he used a second set of controls to open the outer door, but before it was half open, there was a hair-raising growl and a huge robot squeezed into the ship. Hal took one look at the grasping hands, jagged steel teeth and blood-red eyes, and fled to the flight deck. He slammed the inner door and fumbled for the lock, but before he could activate it, the door burst open. Hal dived for the access tube at the rear of the flight deck, hoping to escape through the cargo hold, but he only managed 2 steps before the robot cut him off. Hal and the robot faced off for a couple of seconds. Then a short, middle-aged man strolled into the flight deck. He had a smooth, pale face and slicked-back hair, and his heavy overcoat was buttoned up to the neck. Hal nodded towards the hulking robot, unwilling to point, in case it tore his arm off. "Is this thing yours?" The man nodded. "Brutus accompanies me on my rounds." "What kind of rounds?" demanded Hal. "And who the hell are you, anyway?" "Verdi Macaluca, at your service," said the man softly. He crossed to the console and turned the pilot's chair, grimacing as he saw the exposed stuffing. He looked around for an alternative and found none. "Let us begin," he said, sitting on the edge of the seat. "I represent Garmet and Hash, Mr. Spacejock, and I'm here to—" "You're the lone guy?" said Hal in surprise. Verdi nodded. Hal felt a flood of relief. Despite the man's threatening appearance, and his even more threatening robot, Verdi was here to set up alone. Hal had organised the meeting himself, and while he understood loan sharks could be a little eccentric, he still felt the giant killer robot was a bit much. He said, gesturing at the thing, "Do you treat all your clients like this?" "Brutus usually breaks a leg or two first, but in your case I felt it wasn't necessary. After all, it's a relatively modest sum of money." "Breaks a leg?" Hal eyed the menacing robot. "Do you get much repeat business?" "None, if I do my job properly." Verdi sat back. "Now, are we paying by cash or cheque?" "I don't care, it's all the same to me." "Wonderful." Verdi smiled. "I confess I came here expecting the worst. It is most gratifying that you have the money to pay me." "Pay you? No, you've got it all wrong. You're here to give me a loan." The smile vanished. "You don't honestly believe that, Mr. Spacejock?" "You mean it was a trick? You're not giving me any money?" "I believe we're on the right track at last. You see, I'm here to collect back payments on your existing loan." Verdi gestured at the robot. "If you're quick, you can stay out of hospital." "I don't have anything to give." Hal spread his hands. "It's been quiet. Nobody's hiring." "We must honour our debts, Mr. Spacejock. Payment in kind, perhaps. A limb or two." The chair squealed as Verdi turned his back. "I suggest you stand still. It'll be quicker that way." "Quicker? What?" Hal dodged as the huge robot reached for him with hands the size of shovels. "Hey, call it off or I'll—" The threat died as banana-sized fingers grabbed him round the neck, and a split second later he was flat on his back. The giant machine crouched over him and tried to push Hal through the cold metal deck, and as the steel grip tightened, Hal saw his life flash before his eyes. A series of heavy landings interspersed with explosions and multiple fractures. The lights in the flight deck dimmed, and then darkness.